Every single night after his wife fell asleep, Seneca sat in darkness and put himself on trial. He reviewed every conversation, every decision, every emotional reaction of the day. No excuses, no self-pity, just ruthless honesty. This practice, more than anything else he wrote, is what made him who he was. And it's the one stoic habit that, if you adopted nothing else from this entire channel, would change your life more than all the others combined. The passage comes from an unexpected source, not a letter, not a philosophical essay. It appears in De Ira, Seneca's treatise on anger in Book 3, Chapter 36, and it's one of the most intimate moments in all of ancient literature. Seneca writes, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, aware of this habit that's now mine, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself and passing nothing by." Picture that. Rome's most celebrated philosopher. A man who advised emperors, wrote tragedies, and commanded enormous wealth. And every night in the dark after the household went quiet, he held himself accountable for every moment of the day. Not to anyone else, to himself. He continues, "That argument you had today, what good did it do? That harsh word, was it necessary? That moment you lost your temper, what did it accomplish? You were correcting someone who won't listen. Next time, consider not just whether what you say is true, but whether the person can bear the truth." This isn't a man performing self-reflection for an audience. This is a man in real conversation with his own conscience, catching his own failures with specificity and precision, not vague guilt, not general resolutions to be better, exact moments, exact words, exact missteps, reviewed with the clarity that only nighttime quiet can provide. From Seneca's description, scholars have distilled 3 questions that form the core of his nightly practice. What did I cure today? What did I resist? How am I better than I was this morning? The first question, what did I cure, asks you to identify a fault you corrected. Maybe you caught yourself gossiping and stopped. Maybe you noticed impatience rising and chose to wait. Maybe you recognized an unfair judgment you were making about someone and revised it. The question isn't whether you were perfect. It's whether you caught something and fixed it in real time. The second question, what did I resist, asks about the temptations you encountered and overcame, not the dramatic ones, the small ones. The urge to check your phone during a conversation, the impulse to say something cruel when you were frustrated, the desire to take the easy path when the right path was harder. Resistance is invisible to everyone but you. This question makes it visible. The third question, how am I better, asks you to find the growth. Even on your worst day, something improved, a fraction of a degree, a single moment where you chose differently than you would have a month ago. Seneca wasn't looking for transformation overnight. He was looking for evidence that the work was working, one small proof daily that the philosophical life was producing results. These 3 questions take less than 5 minutes to answer, but they create something that no amount of reading, listening, or thinking can produce on its own: self-awareness with accountability. Seneca didn't review his day at lunch. He didn't review it on his afternoon walk. He waited until the house was dark and his wife was asleep. And that timing is not incidental. It's essential. During the day, you're in the middle of the story. You're reacting, performing, navigating. You can't evaluate a decision while you're still making it. You can't see a pattern while you're still inside it. The day has to end before you can see it clearly. And the quiet that comes after the day's noise settles is when your mind finally has the space to be honest. There's a psychological principle at work here. Studies show that self-reflection is more accurate and less defensive when conducted in the evening. The ego's defenses are lower. The rationalizations that protected you during the day lose their urgency. You're no longer performing for anyone, not even yourself. In the dark, alone, the truth is easier to face because there's no audience to maintain a performance for. Seneca understood this intuitively. He chose the moment of maximum honesty, the moment when pretending costs more energy than truth, and he built his most important practice around it. The morning is for preparation. The evening is for truth. And truth, delivered consistently at the end of each day, is what turns intention into character. So how do you adapt this for your life? The practice doesn't require a Roman villa or a philosophical education. It requires 5 minutes, a notebook, and the willingness to be honest with yourself when no one is watching. Here's the framework. Every night after the day is done, open a journal and write 3 things. First, where did I go wrong today? Be specific, not "I was unproductive." Instead, "I spent 45 minutes scrolling when I said I would work on the project." Name the moment, name the behavior, don't judge yourself, just see it. Second, where did I go right? I listened to a coworker without interrupting. I chose the difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. These moments are easy to miss because they're quiet. The review makes them visible. Third, what would I do differently? This turns reflection into action. Next time she brings up that topic, I'll ask a question instead of defending myself. Tomorrow, when the urge to scroll hits, I'll close the app and write for 10 minutes. Specific intentions produce specific changes. Write all 3. It takes 5 minutes. Then close the journal and sleep. Let the review settle into your subconscious overnight. By morning, the lessons are already working on you. 1 night of this changes nothing. 7 nights changes your awareness. 30 nights changes your behavior. A year of it changes who you are. This is the mechanism most people underestimate. They expect dramatic transformation from dramatic events. But character isn't built in a single moment. It's built by small corrections made consistently over time. The evening review is a correction tool, and like any tool, its power is in repetition, not single use. After a week of reviews, you start noticing patterns, the same triggers, the same reactions. The same people who bring out your worst. These patterns are invisible to the person who never looks back. They repeat endlessly because no one is watching them. But the moment you start recording them, they lose their invisibility, and visible patterns can be broken. After a month, something deeper shifts. You start catching yourself during the day, not just at night. You notice the anger before it becomes words. You notice the avoidance before it becomes a habit. The review has trained your awareness to operate in real time instead of only in retrospect. Seneca described this exact progression. He said that over time, his sleep improved because his conscience was clear. His days improved because his nights held him accountable. And his character improved because every 24 hours included a reckoning that prevented small faults from becoming permanent ones. The evening review is the simplest practice in Stoicism. Here's your challenge. Tonight, before you sleep, spend 5 minutes with these 3 questions. Where did I go wrong today? Where did I go right? What would I do differently? Write the answers. Don't type them, write them. The act of handwriting slows your mind enough to be honest. Then repeat it tomorrow night. And the night after that, commit to 7 consecutive nights. Just 7. By the 4th or 5th night, you'll notice something shifting. The review will start bleeding into your day. You'll catch yourself mid-mistake and hear Seneca's voice asking, "What are you going to write about this tonight?" That voice, quiet and honest and relentless, is the beginning of real change. Every night in the dark after the world went quiet, Seneca put himself on trial. He did this for decades, not because he was a perfectionist, because he was a philosopher who understood that wisdom isn't something you read. It's something you practice, one honest evening at a time. When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said. If this changed how you think about self-improvement, subscribe for more ancient wisdom that still works today. Drop a comment telling me what you discovered in your first evening review. I read every single one.